All right, let's just jump right in. We're all trying to figure out how to live a better life, but what does that even mean in practice? Well, today we're going to explore this really powerful framework that looks at this whole quest not as some finish line you have to cross, but as your own personal hero's journey. Now, let's be super clear right off the bat. This is not about some kind of magical thinking or just chasing happy feelings. The ideas we're talking about today are really clear that peace, fulfillment, and meaning, they aren't just things that happen to you. They're the natural result of living well. They're real, attainable gifts, and they're available to absolutely anyone who's willing to start the journey. And let's be honest, this is where it starts for so many of us, right? Life can just feel totally chaotic, unpredictable, and completely overwhelming. If you have ever felt that way, you are so not alone. In fact, that exact feeling is often the first signal that your journey is just about to begin. So, here's the good news. There's a roadmap. These 12 steps, which are adapted from some incredibly successful programs, they give us a systematic way to navigate that feeling of being completely swamped. It's a journey to, discover who you really are and then use what you learn to actually make a positive impact.
Every great hero's journey kicks off with a call to adventure. So this first section, it's all about those foundational steps, that moment when you decide, okay, I'm going to answer that call and start this quest.
So step one, it feels like a total paradox. To actually gain some control, you first have to let go of the illusion that you're in control of everything. So much of our stress and unhappiness comes from fighting reality, from trying to manage things that are just not manageable. And accepting this doesn't make you weak, it's the opposite. It makes you resilient. It frees up all this energy so you can focus on the things you can actually change.
Okay, now let's talk about this term, because for a lot of people, higher power can be a real roadblock. What's so great here is how it's defined. It doesn't have to be religious. It's simply about acknowledging that there is wisdom and strength outside of your own head. It could be nature, it could be the collective wisdom of a community, it could even just be love. It's anything that you see as a source of strength that's bigger than you alone. And that idea flows right into steps 2 and 3, which are all about tapping into that source of strength. It's basically the decision to stop trying to muscle through every single thing by yourself. It's about being open to getting help, trying to align your life with a purpose that's bigger than just what you want, and just, making healthier choices that actually serve you and the people around you. All right, so with that foundation in place, the journey turns inward. This next phase, this is about doing the really hard work. This is the courageous act of facing your own inner dragons.
This right here is the absolute heart of the journey. Steps 4 and 5 ask you to take a fearless personal inventory. It's a deep, brutally honest look in the mirror, and not just at your flaws, but also at your strengths, what really motivates you, and the patterns you're stuck in. And then, and this is the key part, you have to admit what you find, first to yourself, and maybe then to someone you really trust.
And I absolutely love this distinction because it is so important. This inventory is supposed to be an audit, not an indictment. The goal isn't to beat yourself up or to get buried in guilt. The goal is just clarity. It's about understanding why you do the things you do so you can finally have the freedom to choose to do something different. So after you've done that audit, you're probably going to see some things you'd like to change. Steps 6 and 7 are all about becoming willing to let that stuff go. It's a humble, sincere request for help with your own personal growth. And notice the focus here. It's totally internal. This isn't about asking for the world or other people to change. It's about asking for help in changing yourself.
Okay, confronting yourself is one thing, but confronting the impact you've had on other people, that takes a whole other level of courage. Steps 8 and 9 are all about cleaning up the past. First, you bravely make a list of the harm you've caused, and that includes harm to yourself. And then, you take action. You try to make things right wherever you can, with real sincerity.
So why on earth would you do all this difficult, uncomfortable work? Well, because this is the payoff. Making amends isn't just about the other person, it's for you. It is such a powerful way to heal those inner wounds, to rebuild trust, and to finally unload that heavy weight of guilt and regret. It is truly an act of liberation. Okay, so our hero has faced their dragons, they've started to heal their wounds, but the journey isn't over, not by a long shot. Now it's about bringing all of that newfound wisdom back into the rhythm of everyday life.
And it is so vital to get this. This is not a one-and-done deal. A good life is a daily practice. Step 10 is about continuing that personal inventory every single day, just making quick little corrections when you get off track. And step 11 is about keeping that connection to your higher power, whatever that is for you, through quiet reflection or meditation, just constantly seeking guidance.
And we even get a brilliant, super practical tool for this. For step 10, there's something called radar. So when something goes wrong, instead of just reacting, you stop. You reflect on your misstep. You describe what actually happened, without all the judgment. And then you can respond intentionally, instead of just impulsively.
And to back all this up, here's another great tool: setting smarter goals. Now, most of us know SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. But this adds two crucial letters: E for exciting, making sure the goal actually means something to you, and R for reviewed, so you're consistently checking in on your progress.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important stage of the hero's journey. After all that inner work, the focus finally shifts outward. The hero returns with a gift to share with the world. This is what it has all been leading up to. The 12th step is where it all comes together. After going through this whole process, you try to carry the message to others and live by these principles in everything you do. See, the goal of improving yourself was never just about you.
And this doesn't have to be some huge, grand gesture. I mean, look how simple and powerful these actions are. It all starts right where you are. Really listening to someone without interrupting. Offering a hand where you can. Forgiving. Sharing a skill. It just begins with small, consistent acts of kindness.
And please, do not underestimate the power of these small acts. Every single one creates a ripple effect of goodwill that spreads out way further than you can possibly see. This is how you start to align your daily life with these huge principles like love, truth, and service. This is how you make your little corner of the world better.
And that's really where we'll leave it today. You know the old saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So the real question isn't about whether you're ready for the entire journey. It's much simpler than that. It's just this: what is one small act you can do today to begin your ripple effect?